It's time for Wrestling for the Culture, where we take a look inside to see what the wrestlers of color have been doing this week. Ladies and gentlemen, coming up, I spoke with my good friend Amber Rodriguez. You may remember, she's been on the show a couple of times. You go on the Wrealm YouTube channel, there's quite a few interviews with her. Why? She's she's my best friend in the business. But I got a chance to talk to her about her comeback. You may have seen that she has released a promo, and I'm going to play that for you just before we get into this interview. But coming up after the promo, make sure you sit back and listen as she talks about why now is the time for her to make her return. So coming up after this, ladies and gentlemen, it will be my interview with Amber Rodriguez.
You're probably wondering, why now? Why, after all this time, would I want to jump back into the fire? A lot of people know I had stopped wrestling and I joined the military. But there's a little bit more to it that I haven't really opened up about. I had been through so much that I had just got so burnt out. The truth is, I had lost my passion. I remember one of my matches, I wasn't nervous anymore, and that's when I knew it was over. I'm taking everything back. I'm taking my career back. I'm gonna get back to doing what I love because I have a story to tell, and I'm coming back for everything. They said I couldn't have the first time. I'm gonna start over. This is the new Amber Rodriguez. This is my new reign. And there's just one place I can tell that story.
She been through the storm and the rain. Coming back is her focus and healing the pain. But in this ring, she will fight just to prove with her heart that this the best. She will do it and overcome all the sacrifice. She has made it, now here to come back. The focus on that, keeping her mental intact. This is a fact, being greater and noticing track. This is her everyday life, she working to get it right. Yeah, what happens when you with it all and gain it back? Nobody can ever see just how you react through all the pain, through all the anguish and sacrifice. She working to get it right, yeah. So keep on. Notice through the pain.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, as promised, I have my best friend in the business. She's back, and you heard her before when she teased the return, but now it's official. Ladies and gentlemen, Amber Rodriguez is coming back to the ring. You should have seen her comeback promo, and if you haven't, what are you doing with your life? Amber, how you feeling today?
I feel good. This is crazy.
What's so crazy?
Like, I didn't see myself end up here. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I thought I was done, but it's too much unfinished business, you know?
What was the moment? Like, was there one moment, a single moment where you said, it is time, and you knew it was like, there was like, you was invested 100% all in on coming back?
Honestly, I gotta say, like, when I saw my best friend, Nyla Rose, do her thing, and she made it, like, she's so big now, and I'm so happy for her. Like, please don't get this misunderstood. Like, I'm so happy for her. But it got me wondering, like, man, like, what if I had stuck to it? You know what I mean? So it's just, I want to for myself. I want to stop wondering, what if this is for me?
So I'm glad you brought up Nyla when you told her, because knowing her, I don't know her as well as everybody else does, but one thing I do know is that you two have a very, very tight bond and friendship. So knowing that, I'm pretty sure she was stoked. But go into her reaction. Tell us what she said when you.
Well, I mean, I think it was when I was telling her that I wanted to do this promo. Like, that's when I was like, I want to get back into it, but I don't want to just jump back into wrestling. Like, I don't want to just, be low key about it. Like, I want to kind of build up that moment. And that's when the thought of me doing this promo came up. And we was talking about it. I mean, she was the biggest one, like, telling me that I would come back. Like, I remember, I think it was like 4 years ago when I was just so, like, just done, you know what I mean? And that was the first thing she said, "Oh, you'll be back." And then here we are. So she was right.
Yeah.
Hello?
Oh, you said you. I thought you. I know you said. I'm sorry.
Oh,
So, you sat there. So I gotta ask you. The people know you're a married woman now, and I know
yes.
you said that your husband was supportive, but
Uh-huh.
the moment that you told him, and dare say the moment he saw the promo, and I know he helped film it, but it's the difference when you're looking at raw footage versus a complete footage. What was his
Uh-huh.
thoughts?
I mean, he's like my biggest supporter out of everybody. Like, I'm blessed to have him, honestly. Like, even, filming the promo to taking these new promo pictures. He took those too, by the way.
That's what's up.
Um, yeah, like he's really been in my corner this whole way, helping me get in shape, to come back and like I don't know, just little things like, giving me advice on, things I should steer clear of this time. Like, because that's another thing. Like, the first time around, I was just kind of young and naive and got myself into some undesirable situations. And, now that I'm a little older and I have, um, just good people in my corner. And then, my husband being the biggest one. And my husband's also like a mentor to me just in life. And, just it's just good to have that support system, just to have that go-to person right here.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like 24/7.
All right. So, and with that, right? I
Mhm.
I don't know if you've been seeing, but Lana and Rusev, they're married. On everybody knows they're married. As they say, they have a shoot marriage. WWE has
Right.
decided that they wanted to involve an infidelity angle with Lana and Bobby Lashley. What
Yeah.
does Amber Rodriguez do if they even mention the fact that they want to, involve your husband in the business, and maybe not go as that far, but just as a manager or as a character, do you go by the principle that Macho Man once said, keep your spouse out of the locker room?
Yeah, me personally, I don't believe in opening that door because once you open that door, you're subject to anything that comes out of it. You know what I mean? Like if I start something, with my husband there, like anything else that comes after that is like, well, I put myself in that position because I allowed it to begin with. I say that was okay. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And you can't just give people an inch with this kind of stuff. Like they gonna take them out. They're gonna go too far. So I personally wouldn't put myself in that position to begin with. Like I'm big on keeping everything separate. Like my personal life, my wrestling life, my military life, like all this stuff, like just keeping it all separated from each other.
Absolutely. And so explain to people your new nickname and your character.
So it's really the same character. It's La Reina Renegada. That's Spanish for the renegade queen or queen of renegade. Like I really love that name. Rodney Hunter gave me that nickname or like came up with it. And I fell in love with it and I ran with it. It just sounds so different than any other moniker you've heard anybody else use. And I plan to incorporate it because while, the first time around, I had this whole gangster thing, like if Cardi B was a pro wrestler or if Lil Kim was a pro wrestler. Just
Mm-hmm.
real ratchet. Like I took my street life to the wrestling ring, But
Right.
now, since I'm more grown up, I like to incorporate the two And it's like, I don't know, just being more put together. But at the same time, it could get real. We could go back to those streets if need be. You know what I mean?
So we're getting a more mature Amber Rodriguez
Yeah,
who is not afraid to dial back and to put you in your place if she has to.
exactly.
Okay. What's the one thing you're most excited about getting back to as far as the wrestling business?
Um, this may sound silly, but like the fashion, like I have so much new gear, so many new gear ideas, and I have a seamstress now. Like I have somebody I go to that we create these beautiful, elegant looks, y'all will see like in these upcoming entrance videos, once they get out there, but I'm really excited for just this new look,
Mm-hmm.
this, better put together look.
Okay, yeah, I'm excited to see it. You already have your first booking. Can you tell us about that? How did that come about?
Yeah, so I'm based out of Mobile, Alabama now. That's where I live now.
Wow,
My
you already
husband
starting to get that accent.
Lord. My husband brought me to the country.
I gotta give a shout out to my good friend Andrea who lives in she gonna kill me when she hears this, but I want to think it's a Simmons. I could just look at her Facebook page, but I'm being lazy. But it's not too far from you.
Okay. But yeah, he brought me out here, and I found because I knew I wanted to train. So let me start from the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
So I was deployed in California, and I started training out there with big time wrestling.
Okay.
But then when my deployment was over and I moved here to Mobile, I wanted to obviously continue that training because by then I already had a plan.
Right.
So I found Alabama Wrestling Alliance on Facebook. I reached out to that guy, explained the situation, and now I, have a place to train regularly. And there I met Gene, who runs Diamond Championship Wrestling out in Mississippi, which isn't too far from here. So that's how that got started. He had saw me training and, just gave me the opportunity. And the first show with him is on the 9th of November in Ocean Springs.
Mm-hmm.
So first match in almost 4 years.
Okay. Who's your opponent?
He's called the Matador.
So you're already doing an intergender match right away.
Yeah, and I'm really excited about that. And speaking about intergender matches, there is something going on at Sweetwater Pro. Shout out to Jorge. He goes by George, but I call him Jorge.
Uh-huh.
And so look out for that in Sweetwater, Florida.
Okay. That's awesome. So, the fans up here, Maryland or now they're called MCW Pro Wrestling. Will we see the new and improved Amber Rodriguez make a return?
You might. Like, if the opportunity presents itself, I'll definitely take it. So, I mean, never say never.
Well, to my understanding, there's been a lot of changes up in MCW. So I would hope to see, because I'm going to go ahead and say it, and you won't, probably. You don't have to. But I feel like somebody's trying to steal your gimmicks. I'd like to see you take her out. And yes, and yes, I'm being biased. You're my friend. I don't care. This is my show, my network that I share with my brother, the real Dwayne Allen. Shout out to him. So guess what? We can say what we want, do what we want, say how we want. So yes, I want to see Amber take out Gia Scott and show her who's the real princess. And well, Gia don't even call herself a princess, but she definitely tried to steal a look. She tried it. So hey, well, look, I just said it,
Yeah, I respect it. First of all, I'm a queen, but we'll see. Like I said, never say never. You know what I mean? The opportunity presents itself.
Well, I'm glad you did correct me. Excuse me, my bad. When I met you, you weren't a princess. You was like Princess Soda. I forgot the rest of the words. Pardon me. Um, how do your brothers feel? They still wrestling, right? And how do they feel about you coming back?
My brother Chuck Lennox, he's been mad supportive. Like he's been really supportive. I sent him like everything. Like I asked him, like it's weird because I have to like relearn so many things, like not just in the ring, but just outside the ring too. I
It
don't know if
do.
that makes sense, but so I go to him for like little stuff, like, hey, what would you do in this situation? Like, this too far of a drive, like like dumb stuff like that. But yeah, he's been really supportive. Unfortunately, I've become estranged from a lot of my
Okay.
family. Um, but I mean, it is what it is. I've come to terms with it, and it's
Oh,
their loss.
absolutely. It's funny you brought up Chuck because I was gonna say the one thing about him that I've always said, like he looks like he'll destroy you with his eyes. Like if you cross him or cross you, he'll destroy you, and before you know it, you're 6 feet under. So, because he always
Man,
kept it cool, calm, and collected. And the thing was like, yeah, when the bell ring, he would get hyped up. But when the bell not ring, he
yeah.
just too cool. And that's somebody you don't want to cross.
I mean, we all got that. Like when you break curtain, it's like another person. Like that's the beautiful thing about wrestling that I miss the most. Being away for so long is like it's that
Mm-hmm.
escape. You know what I mean? It's that feeling, it's that high. Like when you get out there, you're that person. Like when I'm out there, I'm Amber Rodriguez. Like I'm not worried about what happened at work on Tuesday. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's just me, this crowd, my opponent. Like, you know what I mean? It's a different
Now,
world.
does wrestling sometimes help you be able to, if you do have, say, a bad day at work and you're working heel, kind of take it out on the crowd and your opponent?
Escape either way, heel or babyface. Like you're getting away from whatever it is that you deal with day to day. Like it's just a whole nother world. Like for those 5 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever,
Mm-hmm.
you know, it's your moment.
Yeah. Well, and that's the the beautiful thing about the business. I was at my shoot job and my coworker asked me, "Are they really hitting each other?" And I said with a strong yes. And I said, "There's a lot of things that you don't see, but it's fascinating. You're backstage, you see two people put together a match, and then they execute it, and it's a beautiful thing to watch." Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. It's like theater. You know what I mean? Like it's just I don't know, it's just an undescribable feeling.
Yeah. Now, fast forward. You talked to you because this is a great segue. You said theater. Do you see yourself maybe getting into acting when you decide to retire from wrestling?
Um, I don't know. Honestly, I've never been much of a actress. That was always more of Nyla's thing.
Okay.
Um, like when she did the switch, I remember when she left to go to that. But yeah, that's never really been my thing. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? I love reality TV. I wouldn't mind doing some reality shows. Like, I don't know. My husband don't want me to do it. He says it's too
You
wretched,
you
but
got a reality show right now. You return to the ring.
yeah. But you know what I mean? Like something like Love and Hip Hop or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you are in the South, so who knows?
Yeah, who knows?
Yeah. So, um, you said now. I'm sure you've been watching Nala's matches. And by the way, you ain't even respond. No, never mind. You like the picture. I was about to say when I was at the first AEW show, I sent you the picture to say, "Look,
Yeah,
it's my
I
best
like
friend."
it.
And at first, I was like, "I know she ain't just." Because I saw the icon where it said that you saw it. Then later on, a couple of days later, I just remember like, yeah, I did see it, that you liked it. But what was it like when you saw that match on TNT on in front of millions of homes?
Man, I was just like so floored. Like I was just so happy for her. Like I can't even put it into words. You know what I mean? It's one of those things like, you know, like just her making it, it just broke so many glass ceilings. You know what I mean? And I don't know, it's just like a good feeling. It's like by her making it, it made me feel good too. Like I feel like, you know, just a part of me was just, it felt like I was there too. You know what I mean? Like I was just so elated for her because she deserves it. And it's a good feeling because watching so many people, I'm not going to say that didn't deserve it, but they didn't go through what she went through. You know what I mean? So it's
Hmm.
like her, after going through so much and hearing so many no's, hearing so much negativity, hearing so many bigots,
Right.
you know, her finally getting there, it was just a big middle finger to all them people.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm so happy.
Yeah. That's the beauty of um, that's to see somebody go through the test of time and the test of everything, and even yourself, and taking that step away. I can tell you from being a friend, I think it was best that you did that because I think it allows you to come back stronger. You know, like when you first told me you was going to do it, I was like, oh man, because right at you remember you left right before things really start taking off as far as women's wrestling. You know what I mean? Like it had taken off in some places, but the mainstream it hadn't yet. And I remember watching the first Mae Young Classic. I was like, man, Amber should be there. But I also look at it like now you're stronger mentally and physically, and I think it's even better now because the business is even it's getting even to. I think we're on the breakthrough of another boom period. No things won't be like the Attitude Era, but when you look at all these companies that we can watch, we're on it's something special going on right now.
Sure, for sure. And
Huh? Oh, okay.
it's like,
Go ahead.
you know, for so long, like I'm not gonna say it bothered me, but like I said, it was just that in the back of my mind, like I wonder what would have happened. You know what I mean? Watching all that stuff. But you know, I'm glad I'm giving it one more shot. You know what I mean? Like I'm glad I'm not like I'm glad I'm answering that question for myself, I guess I'm gonna say. Because a lot did happen for me during my time away. You know what I mean? Like I met a wonderful man, you know, I had this blessing of a child, you know, like so I didn't lose out on anything. In fact, I gained so much.
Hmm.
And then, you know, now me jumping back into this, you know, it's like also showing my daughter like you can chase your dreams because that's another thing. I don't know why, but it's like sometimes when people have a baby, it's like people treat them like they just ruined their lives or they just lost all this stuff and like, you know what I mean? And that's not the case. Like you can still do what you want to do. You can do it all. You know, you can be a mom and be a pro wrestler and do whatever. You know what I mean? Like you can do whatever you want to do.
You hit that right on the head. And, me and my mother talk about that all the time. When people say they act like that having children, their life is over. Because a lot of times they get lost in themselves. But you're doing the child a disservice because what you end up doing is, not regretting, despising that child.
Yeah, like resenting your
Resent.
kid.
That's the word. Thank you.
Yeah, but that's not the case, and that's so horrible. Like you wouldn't believe how many people, you know, when I got pregnant, were like, "Well, guess you're never coming back now." Ha ha ha. Like, how about congratulations? You know what I mean? Like, it's so disgusting, just the way people act. You know, when somebody gets pregnant, it's like, "Oh, you could have been this, you could have did this, and you were gonna," and it shouldn't be that at all.
Hmm. Are you excited about relaunching your career or the second part of your career? Are you excited about it being in a totally new environment?
I am because it's humbling, you know, and I don't mean that in a negative way, but it really is like starting from scratch,
Mm-hmm.
and because they say, this business is a very what have you done for me lately type of business.
Right.
And so when you don't have a recent answer for that, you know what I mean? It's a little awkward. It's like starting from scratch, and that's what I'm doing. But, you know, I can only go up from here. So it's a challenge I'm excited to take.
And do you have any short-term goals right now, like as far as your career?
Just to get the ball back rolling with these bookings, honestly, it's looking good so far, but it could always be better. I'm always looking for better. Always looking for more opportunities to travel and all that. So Amber Rodriguez 46 at gmail.com.
Now, do people now do they ask for like your most recent matches when you explain it to them, or do they just say just come on, or do they ask for training videos?
Believe it or not, and I'm not trying to sound like narcissistic when I say this, but a lot of people I reach out to still know about me or knew about me. Like,
Mm.
I've been getting a lot of respect. I'll be sending out this inquiry like, oh, hey, I'm looking to come back after taking a hiatus or whatever, and I'll send like this um comeback promo, like, some matches from before I left or whatever, and they're like, oh yeah, we glad to see you back at it, or oh, I'm glad to see you coming back, and yeah, we knew about you before and blah blah blah. So I've been getting a lot of that. Actually, it's been a lot of respect, and it's nice to see.
Mm-hmm. Did you? Were you surprised at that though?
I was. It was like, oh, thank you. You know what I mean? Like, it's just it's cool,
Mm-hmm.
and it tells me, it reminds me who I am. You know what I mean? Like, it's a reminder for me too. Like, I was like, on the brink of something really great, and I accomplished a lot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and and that's the thing. Like, I mean, to be honest with you, I'm not surprised. Uh, Spoiler alert for those who don't know. Help Amber with her Facebook page. So
Yeah,
I see all the bookings that came over the past 4 years, but
the
booking
man
requests,
behind the scenes.
and as well as people just, especially the creeps. So creeps, stay
Oh
away.
my God. And that's why I don't even check that page for booking stuff, because it's just like I'm not about to filter through all these freaking
So
perverts.
now, so
Like,
now what you tell me is I got to check it for the bookings and let you know. Okay.
I mean, it would be nice. But yeah, it's really dope to see, and like, it's like I said, it's a reminder for me that I did accomplish a lot. Like, I shared a ring with, people that other people dream about being in the ring with. So it's nice that people haven't forgotten.
I mean, well, you've hit all the major companies, right? Just look at wrestling right now. You share the ring with somebody who's in the WWE Hall of Fame. You share the ring with somebody who's on the WWE main roster, the NXT roster, AEW, Impact, and I believe what's the other one? NWA, Power. So you've shared the ring with a lot of people, um, and not to mention, again, before it was cool, you and Jesse, shout out to Jesse, Jessica Carr now, but y'all
Mhm.
were the hottest act, or I should say the hottest, y'all had the hottest story at MCW Pro Wrestling, at the time it was Maryland Championship Wrestling, in 2013. And
Mhm.
I'll go ahead and say it. You don't have to, but I'm gonna go ahead and say it. They threw it away. It should have been a big match built into the anniversary show. The stuff that you two were doing, the comments back and forth between the radio shows, the battles on the mic, on social media when everybody wasn't using social media the way they do now. Y'all kept it kayfabe, and they just put y'all two in a match with Renee Michelle as the referee at Rally in the Alley, which was a show that was really about just MCW taking advantage of people getting bumped up for the Ravens season, where they could have built that and made it the main event, and that could have been a big deal for them to main event their show or their WrestleMania with you two. And so that's how I felt about it. You could tell I've been a little upset about that one for a couple of years now.
Yeah, you got to look at the time we were in too. Like, I feel like people weren't really into women's wrestling at that time as much as they are now, or even a few years ago. You know what I mean? Because, like, you know, the way me and Mickey tore it up there, like, they were into it, they were feeling it. But I feel like at that time, I don't think it was the same type of wrestling fan.
That's
you know what I mean?
And you're right, but I also felt that the way y'all story was, y'all did something special on that.
It could have attracted that. You're saying.
Especially on the indies, it could have been something different because the people were invested.
Yeah. But I mean, at the end of the day, coulda, woulda, shoulda. I mean, stuff like that happens all the time. I mean, I get what you're saying. I definitely get what you're saying. But I think that going forward with the type of fans we have now, I think that things will be different.
Yeah. And that's going to be so much fun, especially just watching watching your return. I sat there and as I was looking at it, I saw you said one of the things you said was you were coming back to take everything they said you couldn't have.
Oh, absolutely, and I stand by that. And when I say they, it's like it's not just promoters, it's not just wrestling related people, even the people that I've become estranged from, the people that I've cut off, people that just toxic relationships that I've let go, like all of that negativity as well is like, I'm coming back for everything, man. Like, I'm back with a vengeance. I got something to prove,
Well, you got something to prove. Any final thoughts before I let you go? I know it's you had a long day, so for the training and everything. So, any final thoughts?
I mean, that was pretty much it. You know what I mean? Just that I'm just excited to just, come back and show people, I haven't lost everything. I'm still that chick. Like, I still got it. So look out.
You heard what she said, folks. Look out, ladies and gentlemen. Real quick, tell people where they can find you or where you want them to find you for now, and tell them where the shows are. Your next show is.
Okay, so like my Amber Rodriguez page, that's run by Brian. Basically, my Brian Rodriguez page. Like that. I'm gonna build new social media outlets. Like, I'm about to start a new Twitter, start a new Instagram that's gonna be run by you as well. And so just hold on for that. But yeah, you can catch me next Saturday in Ocean Springs, Mississippi at Diamond Championship Wrestling. So yeah.
All right, folks. Well, that is the lovely Amber Rodriguez. Amber, I definitely appreciate you coming on. We'll do this again soon, especially after some matches. I'm pretty sure and if I know you like I do, I'm pretty sure you're gonna make some enemies in the ring on your journey back to taking back everything, because everybody can't handle it. So thank you for coming on tonight. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's it for this week's episode of Wrestling for the Culture. For more episodes or more content from the Wrestling Wrealm Network, hit the subscribe button down low. Make sure you turn on the bell for notifications. Till the next time, too sweet.